Hi guys, welcome back. In this episode, we are going to be working on my buddy's garden tractor here. So he said it needed a little bit of work, and yeah, it sure does need a little bit of work. Let me show you kind of what we're working with on this one. So as you can see, the engine in it is removed. It should go in this general area. Does have some gas in it, so that's cool, but it is pretty dirty. So I think one of the first steps that we're gonna do is power wash this thing down. But moving to the back here, it's missing the battery and the battery tray, and I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but those belts, they're pretty dry rotted, so that'll be probably one of the first things that we do after cleaning it. But, overall the machine's in pretty good shape here. It does have the deck over here, or not the deck, the hood. And the hood's in really good shape. Yeah, a couple of scuffs and stuff, but nothing big. We do have a belt, so one down, 3 more to go. And this is an engine that we're going to put in it. And, we do have the deck. The deck is in decent shape. It looks like it has new pulleys and stuff. It does have new blades on it, but as you can see down here, it does have a hole there that, normally if it was off on the side or like one of the blades hit it or something, it wouldn't be that big of an issue, but since it's right here by the mount, what we'll probably end up doing is cutting out this section and welding in a new one. But the top of it isn't rusted out, which is typically where these go bad. So it's worth saving. It is a little bit bigger of a project than what I thought it was going to be, but nothing that we can't do. And I think we're going to start just by power wash all the grease, and I'm sure there's a lot of mouse turds that need to get removed. Alright, so we have everything kind of like degreased, at least power washed off, and we can actually see some of our bolts now, so that makes it a little bit easier. And I think the first thing that we're going to do here is change out these belts, because that bottom one has to come out first. I don't have the top one yet, but bottom one has to be done before the top one anyway, so you can't really see what I'm doing. So this top one, the easiest way to remove it is snip right there. Alright, I think I may have changed my mind on just snipping this, but there's this idler pulley, so it just slides in, and the belt will slide off the front. Alright, so we did end up removing this this set of pulleys here. This just bolts down in there. You can't really see it on the camera, but that's the easiest way to get that lower belt out. In fact, it might be the only way to get the lower belt out, but so this is supposed to slide here. Your bottom belt runs here, your top belt runs here, and a lot of times when you lose the ability to go faster, it just stays at one speed. It's either this is locked up so it's not sliding, or your belts are worn so small that they're just riding right in the middle, which, yeah, that happens too, or they get stretched or whatever. But We will just take some sandpaper and sand the surface rust off so we don't just chew up the new belts when we throw them on. But we did manage to get the old belt out, and I mean, you can see it. I mean, if this was my machine, yeah, I'd leave it. I mean, it's fine, but this isn't my machine, so we're just gonna put, the parts in it while we're at it. Plus, if this were to snap down the road, you got to take the deck back off. The engine pulley's got to come back off. The top pulley's got to come off. Battery's got to come out. So, while you're at it, I think the belt is like 10, 15 bucks, something like that. So, might as well just do it. Alright, so we got our new belt in, and as you can see, it's pretty tight underneath here, and there's a lot of bars and brackets that you need to go up and over, so take a picture if you need to, or try to remember which route you gotta go. But so then right now we just have this set up in the front, up way up here. That's where the engine pulley comes through, and that runs above this bracket here. There's some tabs it's got to go around. You can see one is right there, and loops behind this pulley, over that pulley, and then towards the transmission back here. Alright, so up at the front here, this is where our front pulley comes through and mounts underneath the engine here. So this belt will have to get pulled forward, and then you just feed it on over the shaft, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you're good. But I think at this point we're ready to put the engine in. Jeez. We're just going to line up our pulley underneath here. Well, the camera died mid-taping, so I missed the tightening of the bolt holes, which really isn't much. There's just 4 of them and the one nut in the bottom. And then just making sure your belt is in the tabs there. Where we have that in the tabs over there. And that's pretty much it. Alright, we're ready to mount the exhaust here. And we have a brand new used gasket, so we'll put that on. We'll just put this in for now and replace it later. Exhaust is on. Hook a spark plug back up here, and we can start working on wiring now. So this here is a 6-pin, and we have a 6-pin connector not attached to anything, and we have this guy here. So we're going to figure out how we're going to wire that in. So these 2 up here are coming from our coil, so we will need those 2 to plug back into the circuit. So we'll hook this into here, hook that into there, and then these 2 here are running to our, so this is a ground. This runs to, if we were to have a float bowl solenoid, this would run to that. And then this runs to our coil. So we have to pop this off then and change out this wiring then. Alright, we got all the bolts holding our cover off. So this can just pop up then. And I was actually expecting to find a huge rat nest underneath here, and actually it doesn't look terrible. It's a little chewed on, but nothing that's gonna short out on us. But so this wire here goes up to here. But we want to replace that. Alright, so this wire coming off of this box here, this is going to go up to our magneto. And then this would go to our carb solenoid here, but we don't need that. So we are going to remove it from the harness. And that'll leave us with just this one wire, which we'll route behind there. So we'll route this up behind this. And then there's a little tab underneath here that just ties into. And that's it. I almost forgot we had to hook up our throttle cable here. So I'll just slide that in. Open that around. Leave that loose. So we're going to run this guy all the way up to choke. And drag this back all the way to full choke. And tighten that down. So now when we let off a choke, that should be full throttle there. Idle. Choke. Easy enough. Now we'll just hook up our gas. I have no idea how old this gas is. I'm assuming it's probably not good. Nope, definitely not good, but let's try and start it anyways. Should probably check the oil just to make sure it's got plenty. Alright, set it up on choke. Well, it actually runs and sounds really good, so I don't think we really have to do much other than we'll just clean it up, put the shroud back on. Alright, so this section right here, it's a little crusty, so we're going to cut this section out, and a little bit up here, and then cut some patch panels and weld them in from behind. Alright, we got most of the flaking paint off. We're just going to run over it one more time and then just wipe it down, get all the dust off, and then give it a couple of sprays. And we should be ready to throw it back on the mower then. Alright, it is a couple days later and our new belts came in, and you can see how much this other one is worn. It's about, you know, it lost maybe an 1/8 inch in thickness, and you can see it's pretty well stretched as well. So this one is pretty tired. So new one's ready to go in. It's pretty tight in here, so I don't think I'm really going to be able to show you, but I'll install it and then bring in to take a look at it. Alright, so here is the belt installed. We're going around this back one here on the top, this pulley here, and then we'll pull the tensioner here back that way, and then a little bit around the top pulley there. And the deck drive belts that we're gonna put next here, I mean, same situation. You can see the old one here is thinner than the new one here, and it's also stretched. And we got the deck all repaired, patched in the holes there, painted it, and ready to put that on. Alright, so to hang the deck, we have to drop our lift bars here. So we're gonna lower the deck height. See these guys go down. There we go, one side down, the other side's the same. So in this bar, slides into that, and then this comes up here and mounts in there, and as you can see, our pins don't really line up until that deck moves up in the air. Just gonna wedge something underneath the deck to hold it up. And slide in our pins this way. And then there's just a washer and a cotter pin that go on there. And then we'll repeat the same on the other side. Alright, at this point we are ready to start hooking up our battery. So drop in the battery tray. Actually, before we do that, this is our strap that needs to go in here. So this will come up like that, and our battery tray goes in. And got a brand new battery here. Alright, so on this one our negative is short, so we'll go negative to the back here. And it does not seem to want to reach there. Interesting. Well, we might have to make a longer cable to fit this battery. Oh, ring. And I think we're going to ground out our battery post. Maybe this tray is not the right one for here. I think we might actually need a deeper tray. Or we might just have to modify this one to be deeper. Alright, so we made the new battery box here, and what we did is just bent up a piece of steel and pop riveted it to the center section and cut out the bottom of the old one. It was kind of rusty anyways, but now you might be wondering, well, if you went through all this effort to bend this up, why didn't you just add a little bit more, add a couple of bends, and make it all out of one piece? And that's a good question, but it did not occur to me till after I already cut out this bottom piece. So at that point, it was already made, and that's where we're at. So painted it up and ready to put that in. Drop in our battery. Pretty good fit. Alright, battery is all bolted in, cover is on. Clears. All right, so now we're gonna move on to buffing the hood. We're just gonna use, what is it? Meguiar's Miracle Blades. And I am not a car finishing expert, and we're not actually going for expert because it's a lawnmower, so we're just kind of making it look better than it is. Paint's faded and scratched, so we're just gonna clean it up a bit, make it look a little bit better. Alright, we got one half of the hood done, and it looks pretty good. A lot better than it did. Let me get you in here so you can see the half that we did. Alright, so this is the half that we didn't do. And that's the half that we did do. And it is a significantly different look. We're just gonna continue doing this side now and the rest of the body here, and take it out for a test drive and see how it does. Alright, well, I think that's pretty good. Let's fire it up and take it out for a test drive, see how well it drives and cuts. Well, it runs and cuts, and now I got some streaks in my lawn, so time to keep cutting.